Hi there, this is George Kosh, and I would like to talk to you about the new blog system. I'm going to just go up to the website management. All you do is when you log into the member area, you can manage your website using the top menu where it says Website Management, or you can go on the left menu where it says Content Management and then Edit Website. I always just use the top Website Management. By the time this video is finished, there would be a link up here called Blog. What the blog basically does is it adds a capability to your website so that you can blog and have continuous information, like in the form of articles, basically anything. The big difference between a blog and a web page is a blog entry is something that you could add daily, and it's organized with other blog entries, whereas pages are just linked to from the left side of your page or the top menu, and they're very static. They don't change very often. You've probably heard of blogs through content management systems like WordPress and Joomla and things like that. Blogs are great, and I'm going to show this all to you, so just sit back, relax, and enjoy. Let me just show you what it all looks like, just so we can kind of go backwards and say, oh, so that's what I'm working on. I'm at my website right now, and I'm just going to type in blog after the URL, and that's what you'll be doing, and I'll show you more about that. And as you can see, I have some fake entries here, and you can see blog postings are all categorized, and you'll be able to make up categories, and there's a little index telling people how many postings are in categories, and it's very similar to an article directory, except for a few items that I'll talk to you about. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to build this. So when you first come in here, because this is a brand new system, I'm going to click on blog right now. And what you need to do is, if it's the first time you're in here, everything is going to be blank. What you want to do is say add blog to website. And this is a very simple process. We're just going to click the add the blog and then wait a few seconds for the system to get ready, and by the time you see it, you are all set. Okay, these are very minor things. All they're doing is they're just updating a few things like your sitemap and your feed, and they're letting the search engines know that now you know you have a blog and that you've updated your site. What you want to do is just click on the postings link, because that's where everything kind of happens. This is where you're able to add new postings. So rather than editing one of these, like say I go in and I add a posting here, and this is exactly what you're going to do. You're going to notice that you're going to probably want to choose some categories and things like that, where you can create categories up here. Okay, the system will create you a default category, so you don't need to worry about that. And it'll also put you in as an author. Okay, so you're going to see your name in here. The authoring is very cool because you are able to have guest authors, and I'll show you that in a moment. People can actually add to your blog, and you can improve the blog postings or articles or whatever you want them to add to your blog. So it allows you to share a little bit of the space on your blog with other people. This is a title area, and I'm just going to say this is how we use WorldProfit's blog system. Okay, and I'm just going to, the main category will come up for you, and here is the post. Okay, and then go down, and it gives you a resource box if you want. You can use this if you want, and then you update the posting. I wanted to keep it simple. I've used blogs for years, and I just love when you can just say, here's the author, here's the title, here's the category, and this is the posting and then the resource. Now, watch what happens when I click update the post. The system will really just bring you back to the page you were at, but it'll have saved it. It'll say, okay, here's our posting author, here's a category. Generally, a lot of this won't change. You'll just say, well, here's my posting, and you're going to find a couple of extra items. You can add a video here. Now, let's say that I wanted to add a video into this. I could go to anywhere. For example, I'll go on my other computer page here, on my other monitor. I'm just going to grab a video that I had done, and show you what I mean. It's the embed code. So if you go somewhere like YouTube, for example, say you wanted to do sort of like a video blog, you would come in here to your YouTube page, and I'm just going to bring YouTube over here just to show you. Okay, and this is completely optional. You don't have to do this, but I know a lot of you are interested in this. You will grab your embed code and you simply copy this. And this was another thing, because I am a video blogger. I like to include videos and pictures and things. So I put this in, and it's really neat. You just basically paste in the iframe code, the embed code, and then when you save it, what the system's going to do is it will update. All right, and it will add the video for you automatically. Now you can copy this, like you can right click on it and say copy, and you can move it anywhere you want. Okay, so what it'll do is it'll copy it now, and you can take it to the clipboard and go from there. You can move it around. In other words, you can move it. Okay, so you can do that, and it's really, I just find this handy because now I don't have to look into source code and stuff. Now, if you're a coder and you like doing HTML and all these fun things here, too easy. And as well as putting in, say that you wanted to put an image in here. Any image could be put in, and just to make it simple, say that I grabbed an image, this one right here, and I said, let me just copy the image. I could just go in and then just post it in here. Okay. So that's how easy it is to work with this blog system. So now I have a blog where I can enter a video. And again, these are very advanced things. Most people just type in stuff. Okay, they type in an article or that type of a thing. Okay, so you don't need to use these. These are just for the more advanced people. And again, the resource box is, you know, about the author. This could be about George Kosh. Okay, so I type about George Kosh. Okay, and then I can resource information here, etc. Okay. Again, you can preview your page. So if I update the posting, I can then take a look at it and see what it looks like on my page right away and get an idea of that. So here I go. I go down here and click on the page. And hopefully, if there are no bugs in here, I'm good to go. It looks like it's not. I have to verify it first. It looks like it's just setting it to no. Here, let me just fix this real quick. I promise you this won't happen on the actual one. Just go to the postings list here real quick. And don't worry, I'll set these to approve. This is a neat part of this whole system is the posting approval here. Normally for you, I'll have this fixed. It will always approve it, okay? But what I had set up was, for example, I have Sandy Hunter here testing, and she is not set for auto approval, which I'm going to talk to you in a sec, so just watch this. So I go back here, and then I go back into the edit. Let's pretend that other thing didn't happen, because I don't want to keep recording. I go down here, and I click, let's see my page, and it should show up just fine. Okay. So there you go. Now you're blogging. Now, some of the really neat things about this are the ability to share your resource. I'm using an advanced browser, but the Discuss system is in here too for discussion, or you can use Facebook, but let me get into that in a moment. For now, let's just kind of step back. Very simple. Okay, you've got your blog home here. If I come down a little bit lower, you'll notice that the URL here, you see this URL is the actual, typical URL, which shows you the date and the time, or sorry, the date and the year and the month, and then the thing. And this is good for Google. Google loves that. So that's all in there too. And the publishing, when I show you the author area, this clicks, when people click this, it goes right to your Google Plus authorship page. And I'm sure a lot of you have heard of the authorship tags. Well, it's all built in, very simple. So I'm just going to close this down here for a sec. There we are. And hopefully we don't have our browser crashing on me, which, as you know, Microsoft seems pretty common to have problems with their browser. We all love Microsoft. Here we go. Okay, so we close that down, and there. Okay, so we're back into the member area here, no problem. And let me just close that. I don't know why that keeps opening. There we go. I don't know what's going on here. Very interesting. There's our crashing browser. Okay, so I go back up, and this is really just putting a posting in. Now, when you're doing all of this stuff, your friend is always the postings list. That's just a list of all the postings. Okay, so you can delete them, you can change status here. This is my favorite part of it because everything is bird's eye view. All right, enables you to do stuff. What I highly recommend, and I know you're all paying attention, put in some test postings and have fun with the system and learn it slowly. That's how I learned WordPress. I mean, it's very straightforward, but I would do it that way. Same with the blog categories. You can add as many as you want. I would recommend you just start with a few, okay, and they're available. And you'll notice you can't delete if they have things in them. So in other words, if you have postings in them, which I hope you have postings in every category, then you can't delete until you remove all the postings. Okay, but that's pretty common sense, right? You wouldn't want to go deleting a category because then all your postings would that were in there would have no categories and it would kind of look ugly. The other thing, blog authors. See, there's not a lot to this. Believe it or not, a lot of it's just the postings. When you come in here, you can give yourself an author account if you want. You have one by default. Okay, so you'll see this sitting here. But you can password protect it and post from outside of your member area. I like to go in my member area, but you can send yourself instructions here with one click, and it'll say, hey, George, you're an author on your own blog. Go from there. Now, require post approval. You can say yes, meaning if this person here, say for example Sandy, I give her an authorship, I would click this to say I want to approve first. Okay, and then you would go into your postings list and you'll get an email saying that a posting was put in. Okay, so she will also receive instructions when you click this. Okay, so you can do a lot with this. The only other thing is the Google Plus. You want to put the entire URL in here. Okay, not just this, not just that, but the whole URL to your Google Plus page and to hers. Now, this is totally optional. You don't need to do this. Okay, and you don't need to add guest authors. You could just leave your account in here and leave it at that. Okay, so again, send yourself this email and go from there. It's a lot of fun, and it uses this is just the authorship tag, okay, which is sort of one of those up and coming things. Adding an author is very simple. You click a button and you add the author, and require approval, password, that kind of thing. All right, so you can have fun with that. The only other thing I want to show you, and this is something that you can do after you've done a posting. Say, for example, a couple of days has gone by and you've been doing a lot of postings. You can update your sitemap by clicking this button, and the RSS feed creator here you can also do. And if you aren't sure, if you're new to this and you check here and you don't have this, you can add it using this button. Okay, so those are usable. Don't be hitting this 3 times a day because that's not a good idea. You just want to do this. You could do this sitemap. Well, I guess the sitemap you can pretty much do, 2 or 3 times a week. Okay, and the RSS feed you can update as many times as you wish, but I would limit it to whenever you have a new posting. Okay, the final part that I wanted to show you, and this is something that's kind of neat, is if I go back to my postings list here. The ability to add, say, for example, if I was to go to take a look at this posting right here, I can control different aspects of what you see under the posting. I'm just going to save time here. I'm just going to go see the posting on my site again. And as you can see, we have a interlinking is built into the system, and so is sharing. I wanted to talk to you about this little share button down here. And again, you don't need to worry about any of the code on this. Let me show you why. If we go back to website management here, you'll see under the site settings. And that's why you're watching this video, so that you learn these things. Share this code is used on the blog, and there's also the ability to use discuss. It's a way to have people be able to uh, add comments and things to your postings. Now, here's an interesting part. We use Facebook comments, okay, and the like plugin. And if you don't want to use discuss, say this was gone and that was empty, I could use Facebook comments only. So if you don't want to use discuss, don't worry about it. Just don't fill it out. Don't sign up. Don't do anything because it'll be blank. And just click this link here and save it. That way it will show Facebook comments on each of your blog postings. Okay, and let me show you what I mean. Earlier in the video you saw that the discuss system was not working. So if I'm just going to hit refresh here, show you what I mean, and go down, and there we go. Okay, so I'm not using discuss anymore, and I guess Facebook, I'll make sure that shows up. But you would see Facebook, and of course the share this code right here is this code here. So if this code is removed, the share items would not show up. They would be gone, right? And if you want to sign up, these are all free, so you can sign up for discuss. And my favorite part about this whole thing is you want to keep these things safe somewhere on your on your notepad or computer or whatever, and play with these settings. Turn them on, turn them off, and play around with them, and go from there. Okay, so that should help you out with that part. And again, if all of this fails, don't worry about it. Your blog still works fine. All right, so all kinds of stuff here. Take your time with it and build your postings slowly. And the beautiful part, and I wanted to show you this, is on the RSS feed part. If you go to your blog, and actually, let me just show you around the blog a bit. If I go back to blog home, this URL is really simple. All you have to do is, I'm going to show you in the top of the browser here, just so you folks can see what this looks like. I'm just going to go here, and you'll see it's the same thing. This is how you get to your blog. You simply go to your domain /blog. Now, what I would do is, this is my old blog. This is a WordPress blog. So I'm going to have another blog link somewhere up here on the top, on this very top menu, saying blog. Okay, and most of you probably say, well, how are you doing that? Well, this is with Design 62. With any other design, you can put the link down on the left menu here, and I'm going to show you how that is done using the content management system. That way, when people come to your website, they can click on your blog and get there. They would come to this page, and then you can see they can search your blog, and they can see the latest postings here. And if you go down, they can see how many postings are in this area. The neat part is the search engines really like the way this blog is laid out, because let me give you an example. When you click on your RSS feed, and you can see all of my blog information is showing in here. Okay, so it's very powerful. I can see I've got a few icons I have to add, but I'll do that before I release the blog system. Okay, so very powerful. All the sharing stuff is in the RSS feed, and the sitemap is the same. And again, if you don't know about these things, don't worry about it. They happen, automatically. So if I go to sitemap, you can also see this is a lot of code. I could show it to you in better view using Firefox. It tends to render it better. Let me just show you what this looks like here. This is a little easier on the eyes. There we go. So if I bring that in for you, this is, there's my sitemap there, and it's organized in, you can see my blog postings are noted first, and the dates and times of all of my different pages and postings are in here. Okay, a lot of this stuff you don't need to worry about. It's done behind the scenes just to get you better search engine ranking. Okay, so when you're posting away and you're doing your different posts, you're way better off with this type of system because it's going to keep everything all organized for you without you having to do it. Okay, and you can see we've got all the different categories and things in here too. So really good stuff. All the categories are in here. Works really well. Okay, tells you how many postings are in, and there we are. Okay, there's a lot of stuff here, and I know that. So what you need to do is just take your time with it and be patient. And a couple of little things like the approvals and all that, I'll make sure those are all corrected before I release this. But enjoy, and again, you just bump back and forth by starting up here at Website Management. Remember, if it's the very first time that you're using it, just come up into here, and you can utilize this Add Blog to Website. You can just use this once. I'm probably going to leave this link up here for about a month, just so that all of the people can add it without any hassles or anything. We were going to let staff do this, but it's easier for you to just click it once and then you're all set forever. You don't have to click it again. Okay, so again, if you have any questions, try to attend the weekly workshops on Fridays at 10 a.m. Central, and I'm the one that does them, so I can show you stuff. If a few things look nicer or are set up a little differently, don't worry about it. I'm always working on this area. Okay, thank you for your time.